again, this is Cynthia Marshall, Personal CFO for Women and Certified Envelopes Coach. Welcome to my free online training series where I help women master the art of personal finance. Our training today is 3 keys to destroying debt now. In today's session, you'll learn the absolutely, positively fastest way to get out of debt. Now remember, I'm not talking about debt settlement programs, bankruptcy, or any other method that will send your credit score plunging. I'm talking about a real solution, a mathematically proven method that will cut your payoff date in half and dramatically reduce the amount of interest you pay, freeing up the money you're currently spending on debt for other, more important things like investing for your future. So let's get started. Let's visit our friends at the Money for Life Center and take a look at an example of an average American family. You can see that in this example, the average American family has department store cards, credit cards, car loan, mortgage, student loan, and home equity line of credit. You can also see that they have a variety of different interest rates, a total of over $244,000 in debt, and if they paid only the minimum, their monthly payments are $2,500 a month. So let's take a look at what it would take to get this family out of debt. Paying only the minimum required payment, it would take 26 years and 11 months for this family to get out of debt. They would have paid nearly $263,000 in interest, and if you add the interest payment to the original principal, they would have ended up shelling out around $507,000. Well, at this point, many families think that throwing a few extra $100 here and there will help them get out of debt faster. But the truth is, just throwing extra money at your debts in a random way will do very little to improve the situation. So what does work? Well, let's take a look at key number 1. Key number 1 is to use the debt roll-down method. Use the debt roll-down method to eliminate debt. This key alone is the foundation for eliminating debt in the absolute fastest, mathematically proven way. You may have heard this method called by a variety of names: the debt roll-down, the debt snowball, or credit card roll-down. No matter what you call it, the principle is the same. Here's how it works. The first thing we're going to do is take all of our debts and line them up from the highest interest rate to the lowest interest rate. In this example, the department store card had 21%, that'd be the highest, and then the lowest being the mortgage. Now we're going to start out paying the same monthly minimum payment, in this case $2,500. But here's the key. Once that first debt, the one with the highest interest rate, is paid off, in this case the department store credit card that had a minimum monthly payment of $125, we're going to roll down that $125 payment and add it to the minimum payment of the debt with the next highest interest rate. So in this example, once the department store card is paid off, we'll take that $125 we were paying to the department store card and add it to the $95 we're currently paying on the credit card for a total new monthly payment on that credit card of $220. But we don't stop there. Once that first credit card is paid off, we can take that $220 payment and roll it down to the debt with the next highest interest rate, in this case credit card number 2. We'll add the $220 we were paying to the first credit card and add it to the $130 we're paying on the next card for a total payment of $350 on that second credit card. Do this same debt roll-down process over and over again until all the debts are paid off. It's amazing how much this method will save you. Remember, you're still paying that same $2,500 each month to debt payments. In the first example, paying only the minimum payments, it would take 26 years and 11 months to get this family out of debt. I'm sure you're wondering how the debt roll-down affected this family debt situation. Well, let's take a look. Wow, using the debt roll-down method, The time to pay off their debts went from 26 years and 11 months down to 12 years and 3 months, more than cut in half. How much time did they save? 14 years and 8 months that they do not have to pay creditors. They paid $123,817 in interest. Compare that to $262,952. And this family saved over $140,000 in interest that they did not have to pay to their creditors. It's truly amazing how the debt roll-down method can reduce your payoff time so dramatically. Just remember, line up all your debts from highest interest rate to lowest, pay the minimum on everything, but once that first debt is paid off, roll down the payment from the highest interest rate debt to the next highest interest rate. So now let's take a look at key number 2. Key number 2 is to use an accelerator. An accelerator is simply an extra amount you pay on top of your minimum monthly payments that will help you reach your goal of being debt-free even faster. So how much of an accelerator should you add? Well, obviously, as much as you can afford, but a good rule of thumb is 25% in addition to your minimum monthly payment. So in our example, the minimum payment was $2,500. An extra 25% would equal $625, bringing the total monthly debt payment to $3,125. So let's take a look at what adding an extra 25% accelerator would do to this family's debt situation. Wow, this is amazing. Okay, reading the chart from left to right, the bottom roll down with a 25% accelerator, their time to pay off debt jumped down to only 8 years and 9 months. This family saved 18 years and 2 months. That's just like raising a child. 18 years and 2 months where they did not have any debt payments. They've paid only $84,793. Compare that to the original $262,952 in interest paid. They saved $178,160, and then look at that last column, the daily interest saved. This number truly astounds me. $55 and $66 every single day. Now, folks, that is real money. When you have a lot of debt and you're paying so much in interest, you just don't realize how much this is costing every single day. $55.66. That's how much interest they saved every single day by simply changing the order, changing the way they were paying their debts, implementing that debt roll down, and then adding an accelerator. This just blows me away. I think it's fantastic. Again, it's truly amazing what the debt roll down method can accomplish to help you reach your goals. And when you add an accelerator, it's even that much more powerful. Now, you may be thinking that a 25% accelerator is out of reach or something you just can't afford. I totally understand how you might feel that way, but rest assured that any amount of accelerator is going to speed up your progress. And then in one of our upcoming trainings, I'm going to show you how to find your own accelerator more easily than you thought possible by using an electronic envelope budgeting system. So stay tuned for that. Okay, well, we've talked about the first two keys, use the debt roll down method and also use an accelerator. But the third key is extremely important. It's very, very simple, but if you don't grasp this third key, you will never be able to get out of debt. What's the third key? Obviously, no new debt. In other words, live within your means and don't spend more than you bring home. You know, I've worked with clients that starting out seemed as though they were very committed to becoming debt-free, but somehow they had a real problem keeping those credit cards put away. They had difficulty distinguishing between a want and a need, and somehow everything seemed like an emergency or an excuse to dig back into debt. Remember, preparing for emergencies and upcoming periodic expenses should be part of your everyday spending plan. We'll also cover these topics in upcoming training. Now, I want to leave you with one more key, and I'll call this your bonus key for today's training. When you are finally debt-free, Roll your debt payments to yourself instead of to your creditors. In our example of the average family paying only the minimum payments, this family would have been in debt for 26 years and 11 months. Well, what if they did continue to make payments for those full 26 years and 11 months? But this time, once their debts were paid off, they took those same payments and paid themselves instead of paying creditors. What do you think that would do to a family's financial situation? Okay, let's take a look at that middle column, payoff with the debt roll down. So we have no accelerator. Our monthly payment has been $2,500, but now suddenly we're debt free. Using that debt roll down, we've freed up 176 months or 14.7 years. If we took the same $2,500 and invested them for the balance of those 26 years, 11 months, 14.7 years, at a 6% rate of return, we'd have over $700,000. At a 10% rate of return, $994,490. What happens if we use the accelerator? Instead of a $2,500 investment, our investment is now $3,125 for a total of 218 months or 18.2 years. At the end of that time, at a 6% rate of return, we'd have over $1.2 million, and at a 10% rate, $1.9 million. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure I can get by on $1.9 million in retirement. Now, obviously, this is a hypothetical example, but you understand the principle. I want you to take just a moment and close your eyes. Think about your age today and project yourself forward 26, 27 years from now. How old will you be? Okay. Now just think. If you do not do anything about your debt, if you just continue to make monthly payments, at the end of those 26, 27 years, what will you have to show for it? Absolutely nothing. But if you do implement the debt roll down or add an accelerator, look at yourself 26, 27 years from now. You will have actually done something and prepared for retirement. Trust me, you will be very, very glad that you did. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed today's trainings. Remember, use the keys we've learned in today's lessons to get out of debt by using the debt roll down method, adding an accelerator, avoiding new debt, and finally, change your entire financial future by rolling your debt payments into payments you make to yourself to invest for your future. Thank you so much for taking time to be with me today. I'd like to take just a moment to tell you about our debt assistance program. First of all, this program is not a debt settlement, consolidation, or compromise with creditors in any way. It is a very affordable, personalized, one-on-one monthly coaching program that includes a killer online spending software management tool called Envelopes that uses the principles of envelope budgeting in our cashless society. Our program will help you develop your spending plan, find your accelerator, implement the debt roll down, stop living paycheck to paycheck, and finally become financially free. If you'd like information on our debt assistance program, please send me an email to debtfree@cynthiamarshall.com. And then finally, I'd like to offer you a free gift with absolutely no strings attached. If you'd like your very own personal debt analysis to see how the debt roll down method can help you, just send an email to debtfree@cynthiamarshall.com. Through technology and online desktop sharing, together, you and I will run an analysis of all of your debts to see how much time and money the debt roll down method can save you. Now, one last thing, please be sure to add a comment in the box below this video. It will help me serve you better in future trainings. Thanks again for your time, and I look forward to being with you again soon.